when the dog finally decides to eat, so you have to wait for him to finish, because if I leave or do anything, he will stop eating and not eat until he's starved again. Travel life. This is my favorite thing to do in the RV. I've done it before. Most of you have probably done this before in your homes, but the impact when you do it, the smaller the house, the bigger a deal it is. So right now you're seeing trash and such. You're not seeing, to the right of me, I've got stuff that I'm giving away to Goodwill or whomever. My favorite thing is to go through the RV and just confirm what I really need and move things around to make things much more, to make things easier. And today, with the exception of Alex's toys, so none of Alex's toys are in the RV, or most of Alex's toys are not in the RV right now because he's at his dad's. So with that exception, and all he's got, I hope, is 2 big boxes that are relatively easy to deal with. But right now, basically I have nothing that needs to be moved between driving and sleeping. Used to, I had these large objects I had to move. That got solved while we were in Washington, so that I didn't have any more like gigantic things that I had to move. Now, and then in recent history, before today, I had small things that just had to be moved. My pots and pans didn't fit anywhere. I had containers for like my pantry and for like shower related items that just didn't have a home. So they were in little bins that I had to move every time we did something, which was not horrible compared to the big things I had to move, but nonetheless still annoying. And today, the only thing I have to put away is whatever I'm currently using. So if I'm currently using my laptop, I gotta put that away. Although, actually, I don't always have to put it away because I'm lazy like that. I can just leave it on the bed and know, depending on how I position it, that it's just not gonna shift. Because everything that is not in use has a home. Like that's a beautiful thing. So follow me as we get rid of the stuff that we've got in here now, whether it's to the dump or to donate. Let's say hello. Hi. Hi, can you say hello? He's like, no, I just want cuddles. I just want cuddles. I gotta go. Or let's do this. Right. 5 months and I've never driven while still attached to something. I don't attach that often though. What I do very often, and I'm hoping it doesn't happen while I'm driving right now, Alex knows this if you ask him, I will often drive from a campsite and then I have to tell Alex to ninja back there and close something. Whether it's a drawer or something, I will realize is in the wrong spot, or I'll leave the water on the counter and such. So having everything have a home makes it much less likely that I'm going to forget something little that's in the wrong spot as I drive. Can you hear all the squeaking? It's like travel life. I will say campers, as a general rule, are so happy. They're just so friendly. And I think it's because they're out in nature and they're doing, hopefully, what they love. and traveling at least a little bit, although some people do stay here all year round. So grateful I did not spend money on a composting toilet. So grateful. But I did buy composting material in preparation for it. I just never bought the toilet. And they're expensive, so I'm pretty glad that I did not do that. This is the field that is perfect for Henry running in. Dog's bed, right? And a lot of times that's where he sits, but oftentimes he prefers to put his butt on either myself or Alex. Now normally it's Alex. It's very rare that he has chosen me, but again this month he's been without Alex, so I get to be his butt warmer on our travels, which is fun. It's like I'm trying to ignore the camera because I can see it's in selfie mode, and so I can see the mess behind me. So it doesn't look pretty when I glance at it from here, but when you are, I guess, standing in it, it's just so much better. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is how RV should be, I think. I could pull over to the side of the road right now and just take a nap if I want to, without moving 800 things out of my way, which has never been. Just literally has never been. Now again, I'm cheating a little bit. I don't have Alex's toys with me, so that will make a difference, but I'm hoping the plan is, sorry for this bumpy road, but the plan is for Alex to put everything into his 2 boxes. We'll see how strict I am about following that, because he just had his birthday, so he got a lot of new stuff. He just had Halloween, so he got new costumes, although not much, and definitely not bulky costumes, which is awesome. But he did get more stuff. He definitely, and this is partially my fault, we got more books. I am also a fan of Goodwill or a lending tree by giving books to libraries. I used to give books to libraries, but I feel like someone who goes to the library, one, the library probably already has the copies of the book, but they've got this entire huge library that they're willing to go to because they're there, so they don't need necessarily another book. But I think there's a lot of people who never go to libraries for whatever reason, and they would appreciate, I think, finding a book while they happen to be shopping at Goodwill, while they happen to be going to one of those free libraries that they have on the side of the roads, and then seeing a great book there that their kid would love or that they would love. So I kind of lean more that direction than not. The pooch, you can see my water on the floor. Water is something I'm not willing to put in any cabinet, because heaven forbid if it spills. So. And laundry. And I never make the bed. I make the sheets, I guess, but the actual blankets, why? Just toss it. Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick just tour of the RV now that we got rid of stuff. All right, so it's cold. I've got my jacket here, but basically nothing in the front. This is the pooch's like living quarters whenever we're driving. So up here I still have my food related items, and then I've got another one on this side, which is mostly spices, and then my coffee stuff. All right, this is how I drive. I do have towel. Usually I have 2 towels, one for me, one for Alex, and then that bag is my shower type items. Nothing, of course, on the counters when I drive. That's when I decided to break a bag of ice on the table, forgetting that it was not the most sturdy. So under here, I've got my linens, like extra blanket type stuff, my Goal Zero solar items. Laundry is always going to be out. When I'm driving, the water is on the ground. That is the dog's blanket, although often he sleeps on my bed, so that's my blanket. When I'm chilling on my bed, I just mush my blankets to the bottom, and then this is Alex's. And this is how I drove today. I just had all this stuff laying out because I didn't feel like putting it away because I'm a lazy bum. I often keep the sides up, but not always. The reflectix on the side. And then of course I have to remove the one on the back. So don't forget to be awesome, guys. I am so happy at all this room where I can walk around. And Henry is happy that he has a bone. Okay, so I should have recorded all the other things that I have to do on an errand day, but honestly, uploading that video took forever, so I just didn't do them. And it is what it is. And now I'm in Georgia, so I am not currently in the RV while I'm here. I'm not really doing errands with the RV. So no matter where you go, you know, death, taxes, and laundry, they will always follow you around. I also have to do things like dump the tanks, and I thought about taking a video of it, but honestly, it's just not my thing. It's gross. I kind of don't want to be there very long. I don't want to put my camera stuff around while I'm doing this, because heaven forbid if it falls and gets on the stuff that is basically everywhere that you are able to dump your tank with. So I do not personally have a black tank. So a black tank is your toilet water. I only have a gray tank for my sink and my shower. But nonetheless, it goes in the same location that the black tank goes in. So at the end of the day, all of my gray tank stuff has in some way, shape, or form been contaminated with the black. So always wear latex gloves or some kind of gloves. Always wash your hands afterwards, even if you wore those gloves, just because it's gross. And then of course I do grocery shopping. Here's kind of a cool thing about grocery shopping when you are able to bring your house with you. There's a lot of places west of the Mississippi where they charge you 10 cents a bag or some kind of fee for grocery bags. So it's to encourage you to bring your own bags with you. I'm one of those people, I will always forget to bring a bag because everything is going straight from the buggy, the basket, right, straight into the RV, into the fridge, into the cabinets, wherever I want to put it. So I don't really have to have the middleman of bags, which is kind of pretty cool. I don't mind it as much. As I'm wrapping up RV life for now, I'm pretty confident we're going to do this again, but as I'm wrapping it up right now, I'm trying to think of all the questions that might arise. I think the number one question I've been asked is how much does it cost? And I'll just say, if you move as frequently as I have moved, if you travel as much and do as many miles, it's going to cost a lot. My RV on a bad day seems to get about 9 miles a gallon. 9. On a good day, I think it's like on the highways, it can do maybe 12, maybe, but it is what it is. I've got a gas guzzler. So gas is absolutely my number one most expensive utility, if you will. My most expensive bill that I get every month is the gas that it takes to drive this puppy around. Second most is probably food. Yeah, it's always going to be the food. I think I've tended to eat out a lot more living in the RV, especially if I'm in a touristy location. Then I'm like, why cook? Why clean? Let's just go out and eat and not have to worry about all that. So those are definitely my number one and number two is gas and food. For the months that I'm able to be disciplined and cook at home, obviously, then it's a much lower bill. So ideally, that's what you would do if you need to cut costs. But that gas bill, if you're moving, it costs a lot of money. It is what it is.